And hello to all my Pisces friends, I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free Psychic Tarot reading for June 2023. Now today they have dialed up for my great Pisces, a four-corner spread. Four-corner spread is a great spread for general readings because it looks at those four main areas that people usually ask about in tarot anyways, such as the work corner, the health corner, the finance and money corner, and the ever infamous love corner. Love and family dynamics. In Pisces, we are going to take a little stroll through all four of them, the four corners for you, and see what June has coming for you and what you can expect and bring your awareness to. They've also asked that I conclude your reading with a very unique spread that I don't do very often, and that is called a yes or a no spread. So you need to start thinking about your yes or no question right now, and Spirit is going to answer as many great Pisces questions as they can in the form of context at the end of your reading. So you need to start thinking about it right now, so by the time we get there, this is all going to be addressed. And you're probably thinking to yourself, well, how can you, that's not going to work because I'm thinking of my question after you recorded this. Well, that's because of quantum. Quantum theory allows everything to happen at the same time. So therefore, I don't know the mechanism by which it works. I just know that it does. So Spirit is able to address as many as possible. And we're going to get to that today, guys. Also going to conclude your reading with the runestone. So interesting things lie ahead, Pisces, for us. Let's get started right now. The cards are already shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save us all a bunch of time. And now I'm going to bring you in so you can watch. I like to share my table with you, show you what's going on. So we are live and recording. These are my ritual cuts, basically cutting each deck into thirds, put them back together in a separate order. That satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot. It is the same procedure for personal private reading, so it's just like you're here with me now. So here we go with your four corners. This first corner is going to be work. Starts with a king. They said not the person though, so we're using an energetic definition right there. And screen, perfect. Coming over here, guys, this is love. Love is short also. So far an easy spread. When we come down here, this is financial. I have a queen here again, so let's see if that's a person. They say no. Another court card using the energy definition of it. I believe you can see everything still. Let's go over here. This is health. Also a person card there. They said not the person though. So there we go. This is actually the end of your four corners. Pretty short and concise actually. The biggest theme you have is financial and money. That'll be an interesting one that we're going to save for last. But before we get there, let's check the inverts. Pretty good distribution all around. In fact, all the card work is done, guys. I don't even need angel cards for this part of your reading. So short and sweet. So start thinking of the yes or no. And I'm just going to show you this on the overhead real quick and we can get started, guys. Again, this is work, financial, love, and health. All right, Pisces, let's get to work. No time like showtime. Make some room for myself. All right, keep thinking of that yes or no question. Put that energy out there. Spirit's going to hit you, or at least get most of you. Here we go. Let's start with, I'm going to come to work and finance last, so let's start with health. Health is showing here that there is a weird thing kind of grabbing at you, maybe an old habit with your health, like a bad one here though, that's trying to grab a hold of you and pull you back. It's like the donut shop, or it's like ice cream, whatever your weakness is in health. Maybe it's just, not exercising enough, whatever it is for you in health that kind of like you kind of have a bad habit of doing this thing. June is going to try to lure you back into your old, I don't want to use the word negative ways, but the old ways, not what you're trying to do with your health. This can also, for some people, be something about work or happen while you're at work. For some people, it could be like eating fast food out a lot at work, getting, takeout and stuff like that. Or this could be, maybe there was something that you could do at work to benefit your health that maybe you used to do, but now in June you're kind of falling off the train a little bit here, maybe like walking on your brakes or something like that. So that's what that momentum of the push and pull is showing here. That is what the draw is. So it's up to you to fight that and to figure out what it is. You're going to need a lot of willpower more than likely to brace for that. The next thing they show here is really kind of getting out of a confusionary state. So a lot of you are not going to understand the first messaging right away, but Spirit's letting you know you're going to understand it later. Maybe later in June, middle of the month, later in the month, something like that. The other thing that they show here is kind of like, they show that you're looking up at the sky, not really sure what to do for your health. So some of you are confused about that as well. And that'll also start getting resolved. Spirit's going to make it very clear for you guys. I'm not sure the process by which they do that. Maybe for some of you it'll be dreams. Others of you it'll be inspiration and new ideas. Like, oh, I can go do, work out with my friend at the gym. She's allowed to bring a friend with her, a couple times a month. I can go start doing that. Just a silly example, but you get the energy of what is going on here. So we have that. And we also kind of have return of a friend entering for some of you health related. So that kind of goes back to the old habits. I think that's what they're calling the friend here. The friend that is trying to pull you back to your old ways. Okay, that's what's going on for health. Now let's jump up to love. That infamous love corner here. The first thing they show is my children card. It's kind of a different version of that in this deck that they chose to use for you. So it's less about children and more about maturity here. It's kind of getting away from the childhood energy a little bit, getting more into the grown-up, more mature energy. High road, the emotional high road for sure. So it's letting me know that a lot of you Pisces are going to need to take that high road, take the better path, the higher path, be the bigger person in the month of June. It could also be with kids coming in as a block for reasons I don't know. When it comes in blocked, it could be that they're on a delay for something. Maybe that means something with the kids like later in June is important with them for something like that. But for most of my audience, I believe it is a strong maturity energy here. And it's also about nostalgia too. So if a lot of you kind of like, a lot of people have a tendency to live in the past with certain things. Oh, I miss the good old days, the back when it used to be, or back when I was with this person, or whatever it is that you kind of like find yourself like in your mind going back to. This is bringing up, hey, we can't go back in time. We can't do it over. Of course, that's what memories are for. You can kind of like live those memories in your mind a little bit, but that's fine as long as it's not working out as a detriment to you. For example, if you were thinking about like an old boyfriend of yours all the time and, if I would have done this different, maybe we could have worked out. That's not going to do anything. What's that going to do for you? That's not going to help improve anything in your life. In fact, you're just wasting your current energy thinking about it, because the past is also illusionary. So the next thing they show here is kind of the bankruptcy, lost, being out on your own energy here. So they're not talking about money here in the love corner, more than likely, unless some of you are having to fork out money for the family. That would be the only way it connects. We'll find out more about that when we get to that financial corner, because it would definitely come in that way. But this is more about kind of a little bit of isolationism, kind of like being off on your own in the month of June. So even if you're coupled up, you may be spending less time with your partner than usual, or spending, going off on your own a little bit. Maybe they have a trip to go on. Maybe you're going on vacation, going to visit family, something like that. So anyway, spending less time. And then if you're single, this is kind of saying it's probably best to keep it that way in June. Okay, so it's isolation energy. You can see kind of reading both sides of kind of where you're at and what the advice is. It's not really a good time to mix and match. It's not it. June is not it. It means that either there's just not good people, not good suitors, or maybe there's better ones coming in July. Okay, so I would be a little patient with this here, and a little bit of isolationism coming up in the family. And that can also be the advice. Maybe it's time for you to isolate yourself a little bit. Get away. Go take a little mini vacation for yourself. Go treat yourself. Get away from the crazy, something like that. So let's go over to the work corner, and then we're going to hit some moon cycles before we get into your big financial corner. All right, so work is coming in really needing authoritative up here. So when we have swords, this is the King of Swords, and it's on an invert. They're saying that we need more energy toward being authoritative up here in your mindset. Swords is the cerebral, the mental suit. So here you got to make up your mind and be very firm about what you're doing in the work corner. The work corner is also a big place in your life. It's work, business, enterprise, area of study, collegiate courses, retirement if you're of that age, hobbies or interests, learning new things, for most people the JOB, but you can see there's a lot of different flux in there. So you need the energy toward it and be decisive about what you're trying to do in that corner. June is an important month for that, because they show next taking great pride into something. So basically they're trying to get you to figure out what exactly you're trying to take great pride in. So that way you can just direct the energy, focus it like a beam, particle beam, and just really just knock it out the park with manifestation, really. So taking great pride in it shows basically do not neglect it. And I feel like you guys are not. You guys are doing a pretty good job here, but they show up here, we have a lot of room for improvement. So they're not trying to pick on you, Pisces, but they're saying, you know what? If you do this, you get this all together up here about what you're trying to do, everything else is going to be so good for you guys, and that is why we're giving you that information right here, right now. So I'm going to break away for some moon cycles, guys, tell you about the brand new product, and come back with this financial corner. Okay guys, it is moon cycle forecast time. We have a pretty simple set of moon cycles for this summer, June and July, and we start getting into some larger lunar events in August. But first, here's the transition to how things are moving, because the new moon is starting to move up. It's already pretty much smack dab in the middle of the month, and the full moon also moving up is right at the beginning of the month. But pretty soon, that full moon is going to drop to the end of the month, and the new moon is going to keep moving up until it's at the beginning of the month. That's happening very quickly. But first, in June, we have the full moon that comes in first, and that hits on June 3rd. This is the best time to get anything out of your life that you don't want there. Whether it's a toxic person that's got to go, whether it's an old habit that you got to kick, whether this is something you got to sell, or maybe a project you got to finish up, all that is best placed under the full moon energy. And that just helps you kind of get that stuff out and get the change to stick. And you don't have to do it on the 3rd either. Just any time right toward the beginning of June is key for that. But don't wait too long, because in the middle of the month, we have that new moon energy that hits on June 18th. And that is the best time to bring new things into your life and to manifest and to bring anything in that you're trying to do, whether it's health related, start something new with health, start a new diet, start a new exercise program. You're trying to attract a new love. Maybe you're trying to attract a new job or a new promotion, or you're just trying to do something new with money. It doesn't matter what it is. Using the new moon energy, it can happen much easier in the middle of the month versus any other time in the month of June. If any of this has confused you, I've put together a moon cycle forecast cheat sheet, and that is available every single month on my website, scottsagent.com, and it kind of shows you a visual aid, little graphic illustration of how these energies move in and out, so you can better utilize positive change, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day, is just making things go a little bit smoother for us. Now, let's get into the gemstone and the new product. Well, there is no new gemstone this month. We're going to take a break. We've just done 5 in a row starting in 2023. Those are all unveiled and available on the website, scottsagent.com, with the write-up sheet, which is very intuitive about what each gemstone does and how it can be properly used, and the new product. Now that I have to tell you about, because we are kicking off the gemstone again in July. It's coming back. We're going to drop a new one in July. But here in June, I have such a big product that I'm unveiling. That's why I decided to step away from the gemstone for a month. So the new product is a combination of actually 2 products. And I've been talking about this for my people for a very long time now. So this won't come as a surprise to everybody. But it's called a My Month Deluxe. It first takes my most popular product that I've ever put together, the My Month product. It talks all about your month, about that 30-day window that's being read for, so it's a nice little batch of divination there, very affordable for your month. The other thing that it's going to be combined with is already a set of 2 readings. It's an angel protection and animal totem package. It's angel protection and it's animal totems all combined in one. So now it's kind of like 3 readings in one we're doing here. It is a huge hit of divination, all in one package, one very affordable package when we kind of bundle it all together. And that product is going to be called a My Month Deluxe. It is available right now on the website, scottsagent.com. And guess what? If you're signed up for the newsletter, you're going to get a free one of these in June. Check your newsletter. It gives you instructions on how to do that. You're going to get a follow-up wonderful coupon for anything you buy after that. And oh my gosh, if you're not signed up for the newsletter, why haven't you? I give my newsletter people, I take great care of them, and I give them a couple free readings every single year just by being signed up to the newsletter. You can sign up for that at the very bottom of any page on scottsagent.com. And now let's get back to your reading. Okay, Pisces, I am back, and it is financial money corner time. The first thing they show is 2 entities working together financially for you here in the month of June. This could either be 2 people working together as a team. That's actually what they show it as in my bird deck, as 2 birds, 2 storks kind of working together here. And this is the financial corner thing. So you guys are maybe building your finances, making financial decisions in the month of June, important ones, something like that. Or this can also not be about 2 people. It could be about 2 entities, 2 different places, like a checking and a savings working together, or like a 401k and a retirement working together, or 2 different things like that pop into your finances. Or maybe some of you working 2 jobs, getting 2 different checks, something like that. So we have 2 things coming in very good, and any kind of things that you have that are already of 2 means you're pretty much in a good spot already. It's like you're already here, Pisces. You're already at the finish line here financially, at least in this phase. For everybody else, let's say you just have, you're like, well, you know what? I just have 1 financial thing going on right now, Scott. Well, here's Spirit is saying 2. So consider 2. Consider what the secondary would be. Maybe it's getting just a side credit card to build your credit higher, just a small little thing, or I'm just giving you a silly example. It could be a host of a bunch of different things, but they're talking about the 2. So consider the 2 there in the month of June, guys. And they also show nurturing here of the family financially. So some of you, going back to that that family corner of yours, the love corner, there is nurturing needed here financially. So Spirit is saying, long story short, I'm kind of speaking tarot, but the translation is you got to put some money into the family unit, those close to your heart. It could be friends that are considered family. I'm not sure what direction they're going with this, but even pets, pets come up that you need to put money into pets. So nurturing the family here with the financial corner. So there's something that needs to be either bought or purchased or necessity here that is needing to be spent on. And they show that this is an intricate balance. This is a very, very teeter-totter energy here going on with balance. They show with my next card, which is the Two of Pentacles. This shows that you guys do a good job of balancing the family and the finances. You guys are doing a good job, but you need to keep doing it, because it's always like if you just like take a week off and you splurge on something, it goes whoop, it gets way out of whack, and we don't want that. So they show that this is like a surgery, really. You got to just be very delicate about this spending, and but it needs to be done. So pay attention to what that version is for you. And they show the surgery here by giving you two birds that are holding a key, or at least what they think is a key. It turns out to be a pin to a grenade. So it's basically saying, be very careful with this. You hold the key, but carefully, otherwise this whole thing can blow up, and we don't want a financial blow up or a family blow up. So there we go. Let me grab that runestone for you guys while I'm looking at all the cards, and then we're getting into your yes or no. They're already mixed up. One more swirl, and here we go. Runestone for my great Pisces, June. It's going to be this one right here, and this is the rune of disruption. Disruption doesn't sound so good, but it's actually not a bad thing. Disruption is my kind of hurricane force. It is a force, and it comes through with a purpose, though. Okay, so disruption, when it happens, it's a shakeup of something, so you can fix something. You can make it better. You can address certain things, glaring problems, like when the hurricane comes, knocks limbs off a tree, branches, fence line down. That's letting you know, hey, your fence wasn't strong enough. Try again. Hey, tree. You know what? It's time to grow some new growth, some new branches, some new leaves. That's the kind of energy that they have here. So it has a purpose. It's not a bad thing. It's just change. It's sweeping change coming through in June, guys, and expect this disruption. Don't fight against it. There's really no reason to, because it's going to happen either way. And this is an opportunity. Just remember that. This is your opportunity to do it better when this disruption happens. It's basically God and the universe clearing your path, and you get to pick what this path is going to be directed towards, especially in that work corner when they were talking about being up here about it. So see how that all works out. So let's grab that yes or no, guys. I did not use that many cards, so I'm actually going to run it just the way it is without reshuffling. Now the yes or no is, like I told you, I hope you guys have thought about that. This is going to be a very interesting spread, because the yes or no is also available as a personal product on my website. Of course, we have a lot of great Pisces tuning in, and we're going to try to get to as many as we can here. But for those of you who do not get your question answered in this setup, I have a personal product that will. All of my personal products on scottsagent.com are personalized just to you, so it's just your energy and not all of your Pisces friends reading with that. So something to consider if we don't hit you here, but let's try to hit you here, because we're here, and let's go. Over here, I'm going to do my yes side. Got to do 3 cards. I'm actually going to do a middle for you guys too, talking about stuff that's in between or something that's neither yes or no. And then on my no side, also 3. And then I need to get more cards for when they were chatty about stuff. Is that a person? They say no. Major Arcana here. 2 cards there. Angel card. That one stays. Is this the person? They say no. Discard. Yep. Is this a person? No. I'll leave that here though. Actually, that discard stays too. There we go. And this one, Major Arcana card. So they got you pretty well distributed actually between yes and no. Usually my yes side is a little heavier, and that's kind of more of the information. But today, that is not the case. Not what's going on today. Not at all. My inverts, I believe, are pretty good. I'm just checking to be thorough with you guys. I want to get you the best information I possibly can, and we are good. Oracle Angel card right here. That's the last piece that I need. Okay, so let's start with, you know what? I'm going to start with the no side. Spend more time on the yes, or at least equal time. On the no side, if you asked a question about something happening later, mental decision or something occurring that is more of a message through, this is like a text message, an email, even a phone call. If any of you asked anything about that or hearing back from somebody later, in those means, this is through the air, which is by sword suit, communication through the air, which is text, phone call, email, this modern day. That's kind of what it means or translates to. If you ask a question about that, the answer is probably no. That's what Spirit's saying here. And it's because it's too clouded. Maybe this person is too clouded. Their eyes are all blurry. They're not seeing things straight. They're not sure what direction they're trying to go with things. And that is why it's no. And maybe you're the person who's a little confused, but it's still no. Doesn't change that. The next thing they show here, if anybody asked about making decisions, like taking forward, moving forward ahead with these choices and taking action here. This is like making decisions. If it's about a decision, just kind of point blank, the answer could very well be no. It doesn't mean no, not ever. It probably means no, not right now. No, because the timing's not right, or it could be better later, something like that. And that's what they show. They show that there is momentum and there is fate behind this. So you got to kind of trust that this is less about your free will. This is more about the forces that are already going, the tides and the currents. If you asked a question about feminine health or fertility, the answer would also be no, more than likely. It is on a block though, so it's interesting because it's not a full no. It's kind of like mostly no, if that makes sense. This can also be about fertile ground. So if you asked about is it a good time for me to launch a business, like make it real, like to the touch, they would be here saying no, not yet at least. Something's hung up here. We need to get something cleared up first, regardless of what version of the Empress we're using as far as what definition. And they also show getting things in the right path here. Really go in the right direction first. And it may not feel like you are, but you got to get there. You got to get there regardless of what it feels like. So maybe just it's a timing thing. They also bring in clairsentience. So they say, notice your recurring feelings and emotional feelings. They signify the divine guidance. So basically they're saying pay attention to things that repeat. And that is why you're getting a no here for whatever reason. And sometimes no is good. On the yes side, we have, if some of you asked about really sticking with somebody or sticking with something, kind of going all in on something or somebody close to your heart or something close to your heart, emotional attachment of some form, the answer could very well be a yes. They left that one kind of dry. I don't have much information there, but there you go. The next thing they show here, if you asked a question about something with works with that has to do with two, they would be saying like yes but no. It's kind of like it's coming in on the yes side, but maybe no, not now, maybe a little bit later, maybe soon, maybe when something else happens, or you're doing this with another person. It's something to do with work and a family member. It makes me feel like even starting a business or something like that. So something with two people, it's not real right now, but it could be later. The answer is yes, overall yes. The last thing I have for yes, if anybody asked about like bad luck ending, or about good luck starting, the answer could very well be yes. Okay, they're saying take back your power, which kind of alludes to the fact that it's been given or forfeited away. So you really got to take this back. You really got to get this roller coaster going in the right direction. And you have a way to do that because they show the Sun card next, which is our golden energy card. So you have all the power to do that. That's an absolute yes, but with new ideas. No old ways of thinking. It's got to be new. New is the key there. New ways of thinking. Get this luck turned around, or to keep it continuing going in a positive direction, take back your power with new ideas. If any of you asked about injury, something about health or being injury or injury prone or things happening to your physical body, it is in limbo. It is not a definitive yes or a no. That is something maybe a personal reading would shed more light on, but that is your yes or no, guys. Very interesting look. So thank you so much for tuning in. Please remember to like and subscribe so you see the future readings. It has been a pleasure. Have a great June. I know you will.